You know, at some point in your life, you're probably going to need a lawyer. And picking the right one is an important choice. Those who are in the world of estate planning may want to consider our next guest.
While most estate planners are designed for those nearing death, Coonen Law helps you prepare for life. We are so excited to welcome our newest trusted advisors to the Morning Mix. We have the founding attorney, Rose A. Coonen, with us, along with associate attorney, Gabriel Lively. Good morning to you both. Thanks so much for being here. Well, let's talk a little bit about kind of what you do at your firm.
Okay. So we are estate planning attorneys, and we work with families in a holistic manner to plan for not just death, but also incapacity.
I'm assuming not all of us know exactly what that term means, estate planning. What does that all entail?
So traditionally, estate planning, you typically think of a certain set of documents, right? Like a will, trust, various things like that. In my viewpoint and our position at the firm is that estate planning is more than that, right? Documents are important, but it's that guidance that goes along with it. Who can make decisions? Who do you want to make decisions? And what are those decisions? It's estate planning is the process of getting clear on that, documenting it, and getting a plan in place so it works when you need it to.
Yeah, and talk about why this is so important. This is something that probably people don't keep top of mind. It's not something they want to think about, but it is something you need to think about before you need it, right? Talk about that.
I mean, it's just the unknown can strike at any time. And a lot of times people don't think about it, you know, ahead of when they need it, they get a wake-up call. So it's really an honor to guide our clients ahead of time, educate them, talk about what they need, and put that plan in place. So,
you know, I think a lot of people, as Vishal mentioned, it's not something they want to talk about. You're talking about end of life a lot of times here. So how do you get people over those fears to be able to accept it? And a follow-up question, I think a lot of times people do this and kind of set it and forget it. You know, they've got all the papers signed, they put it in their filing cabinet, and they just don't think about it anymore. But that's not kind of how you guys roll.
Right. We view it as a relationship, a long-term relationship. It is difficult to talk about, mainly because there can be uncertainty, there can be conflict, and so we have to work through that. And we take the approach of educating our clients, looking at all the options, and just walking through what might be the best for them and their family. It's just that guidance. It's not pushing them one way or another, but helping them work through some of those issues. And yeah, it's not a one and done type of thing because life changes, things happen, and so it's important that it's reviewed regularly. And so that's just built into our process, is that we stay in contact with our clients, review plans periodically. So, you know, clients almost are like family. We know what's going on in their lives and stay in contact with them.
Wonderful. And talk about the different components and, you know, and obviously when and who might need this in their life.
Sure. Well, it's our opinion that everybody needs some kind of planning, or at the very least, you need to talk about some sort of planning. So they're the components that deal with your stuff, and those are those traditional documents like a will or a trust or beneficiary designations, but there's also that incapacity planning that Rose was talking about. Those are documents like your durable power of attorney and your patient advocate forms that, you know, kind of go beyond what people traditionally think from what they've seen on TV shows or movies when it comes to estate planning.
And when it comes to this planning, I'm sure you've seen lots of people make some boo-boos, right? Are there any common errors? I'm guessing one of them is, I'm not going to need this. I'm 25 and healthy, right?
Yeah.
Well, what are errors that people are making when they're entering this world?
Some of the errors we see is like we mentioned, they do it, they put it on the shelf, or they put it in a drawer, and they think they're good. And things change, laws change, life happens, and it might not do what they want it to do. Depending on the type of planning, it might not be aligned with their assets, and so a plan that they think is going to work one way might end up working another way.
Wonderful. And talk about how this process works, and if someone wants to start this ball rolling, what they need to have, and then, you know, how it, you know, evolves as they change and as their lives change.
For our process, you know, it's honestly starting with a conversation. You come in and you talk with us. What we put together is called an asset spreadsheet, where we look at everything you have. We have a long conversation about your family, your structure, what you want to see happen. And we spend a lot of time with the client planning on what they want done, and a lot of time educating on what they might need. After that, we put together all of your documents, we draft everything, sign everything, and it's then a part of that follow-up process, which is so important. You come in and you talk to us, and we continue to talk to you. As the law evolves, it's a seamless web. There's stuff that might, be beneficial that we include in your state plan later, and we can do that.
Absolutely. I think the worst case scenario is for this to happen, or something to happen, and them not have this set up. It may be a difficult thing to enter, but it's worse if you don't have it there and something happens. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing this information with us. And we look forward to speaking with you the rest of the year. We're going to see a lot of Coonen Law, our newest trusted advisor. Thank you so much for joining us on The Mix. There's all the information on the screen. Let's say you're watching this and maybe you'd like to
get that conversation started, right?
Yeah, get a question answered, right? 616-951-1531, or you can always check them out at Coonen-Law.com. We'll be right back.